Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am.
सब अमन चैन है?
Yes. Thank you, sir.
सब है अमन चैन?
Yes, sir.
कहाँ पे है अमन चैन?
सर अमन चैन पूरे यूनिवर्स में होना चाहिए, वैसे तो बिहार से अमन है और अभी दिल्ली में है.
अभी दिल्ली में भी है.
Yes, sir.
What is ceramic engineering?
Sir, ceramics are special types of material which can withstand a temperature of above 500 degrees Celsius. So it makes them durable, heat resistant, hard and brittle. So they have a specific application, for example, in kitchenware, tile making, and other areas.
Okay. Yeah.
Aman,
Yes, sir.
a few interesting things from your this thing. You like Hindi poetry.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me a few Hindi poets whose poetry do you like?
Sir, I have read poetry of Harivansh Rai Bachchan, Shumangal Singh Suman. Uh, Apart from him, Vinod Kumar Shukla, who was recently awarded Sahitya Akademi. So I have read these poets.
Vinod Kumar Shukla is quite ill, as you know.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Has he read Dushyant Kumar?
Yes, sir. I have read him.
Let's go here.
If I can recall a poem of him, sir, it was तू किसी रेल सी गुजरती है, मैं किसी पुल सा थरथराता हूँ.
Okay. Thank you. Now I find it very interesting that in Zone 3,
Yes, sir.
You like to be an IAS in Madhya Pradesh. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But you want to be an IPS
in Maharashtra. Why is that?
Sir, I was not well versed with the how cadres, which cadre are how much good. So I consulted a senior and they suggested me to fill in. I accordingly filled it, sir.
That's why in Delhi you are happy to be an IPS, but an IAS you want to be in Rajasthan and Great Zone 1.
Sir, I'm not fully aware about the cadres, sir.
would have searched more rather than just following what your senior. How can you trust your senior so much?
Ma'am, there was another reason why I was not very deep into the IPS cadre because there is a technical criteria of height which I don't fulfill. So I let it be.
But आप कोई भी काम करते हैं, do you always consult your senior and then whatever they say you do it?
No, ma'am.
Otherwise, how do you take decisions?
Ma'am, first of all, my own reasoning is the important. After taking the consultation from seniors or other person, I should reason it myself and then make a simulation in my head. If I go in that
What
way,
is the reason that you are making civil services as a career despite being a ceramic engineer who can set up your own business, you can create employment. So, what is the reason behind choosing civil services?
ma'am, there were few reasons for choosing this. First was ceramic is a growing sector. It's still not yet established in India, and as a someone from middle class, I would not have that much of capital to invest.
Why did you do ceramic engineering?
Uh,
It was not of your choice, you got the admission.
Ma'am, whatever rank I got, and this was the only branch I was able to.
Compromise.
Yes, that was.
Did a compromise.
Uh,
You could have prepared and for another year also. You
No, ma'am. There was. I thought that if I get into the college earlier, if I get into, and I'll get a good exposure, and I can explore the coding and other areas as well, sir. Ma'am. So, but later on, I developed an interest in civil services preparation during
When
pandemic.
did you know?
In the
While studying ceramic engineering.
in the third year, ma'am, I was in. There was a pandemic in all India, and I was at home. Our college was shut, and the placement season was start yet to begin. So I contemplated all the possibilities, and I thought that I should go with the civil services.
What is the reason? Why do you want? Do you see only as a career option?
No, ma'am. Civil services is more than a career option. I see it as a opportunity to derive a personal satisfaction.
Why, in general, youth in India are so much attracted towards civil services, despite the fact that there are a lot of opportunities in many other areas. In general, it is said civil services is a national hobby.
Yes.
What continues? What is the reason behind this continuous attraction?
Ma'am, I would say the job security is becoming one of the reason because we see there are a lot of layoffs going on and the private sector is going through boom and bust. but civil services still stand stalled.
So you believe that governments cannot collapse, states cannot fail. Fine.
No, ma'am. In India or in anywhere, we have seen in our neighborhood the state collapsing. In Nepal,
Is
in
the state collapsing in India?
no, ma'am. I would not say that the state is collapsing.
If I say the state is collapsing, then what can be the reason I'm saying? Is there any law and order problem in anywhere?
Yes, ma'am. There are a lot of localized area in India where we have this law and order problem. But on a pan-India scale, we are not yet at that level that it is collapsing.
What are the indicators? How will you say this is the kind state has collapsed? Has a state collapsed in Pakistan?
Uh, it is, ma'am, recovering slowly and steadily.
So when it collapsed?
Ma'am, it collapses when the economy and polity of the state totally gets out of control, and the system that was established that doesn't work. And there is
1991 India collapsed.
uh, no, ma'am, we were about to collapse. If that crisis would have continued and we have not unleashed the reform, then we
What
could.
were the reasons of economic crisis in 1991?
Ma'am, a balance of payment crisis was the first reason.
Why it came?
Ma'am, it came because there was license quota raj, and the industries were allowed to operate in select areas after due permission. So it created some sort of monopoly or uh, permit quota raj where bureaucrats was dictating things.
Indian bureaucracy was a problem.
Yes, ma'am. At that time there was a problem.
However, bureaucracy has changed.
No, ma'am, still bureaucracy is changing, and but the quota raj that was there, where bureaucrats were empowered to issue and give permits, that has changed. Our bureaucracy still faces some structural problem.
So today, civil servants do not have power.
Yes, ma'am, they have power. They do have
What is
power.
the difference in the civil services before 90s and now?
Ma'am, I would say the civil services recently has become more people responsive, and there are select areas where they are working. Otherwise, private sector is being empowered. Community engagement is also
That's why
there.
I said you could have been in ceramic industry.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I definitely I could have been. Ma'am, right now I'm working with Bihar government as a sub registrar.
Okay. Okay. One last question from my side. Have you heard about Gunnar Milder?
Yes, ma'am.
He's famous for which concept?
uh, he was famous for the concept of soft state, which was given in Asian drama, his book.
Okay. So is India a soft state still?
Uh, yes, ma'am. According to him, there has been this impression that India is a soft state where it is soft on lawbreakers. That's
Today,
why.
what is the situation? Especially if you talk with respect to Bihar.
Yes, ma'am.
So is Bihar a soft state?
Ma'am, there are law and order problem here and there, but I would say the current dispensation, which recently come with a huge mandate, it has a strong willpower to establish things. And
What is the link between mandate and strong willpower?
ma'am, mandate give legitimacy to the government.
Government taken any concrete steps to improve law and order? Have they released any policy, any vision that they will do something new to improve law and order in Bihar?
Yes, ma'am. I would say there has been a lot of policy imperatives. First would be.
Maybe after elections.
Yes, ma'am. There has been, ma'am, a policy of reindustrialization. The cabinet resolution, the recent cabinet which set after the election result, they have decided to start to make Bihar as a AI hub. They are opening the closed chini mills.
What is the link between that and law and order? I am asking what steps the government plans to take to improve law and order.
Um, Ma'am, I'm not aware about the particular steps in law and order. I know the general steps, ma'am. I will read about it.
Okay. Aman,
Yes, ma'am. Sir.
you are from Bhojpur.
Yes, sir.
How far is Nalanda from Bhojpur?
Uh, Sir, I'm not aware about the exact distances, but if I can make a guess, then I would say 150 to 200 kilometers.
Have you been to Nalanda?
Yes, sir.
So what was Nalanda famous for?
Nalanda University that was there, which was established by Kumar Gupta, sir.
Now, who was the there was a Chinese scholar whose memorial also exists in Nalanda. Who was he and why was he famous?
Sir, if I'm correct, then it was Wen Sang. And he was a Chinese traveler who came to India and studied in the Nalanda University and also wrote many memoirs about India.
And taught also.
Taught also, yes, sir.
Okay. So Nalanda was destroyed. Who destroyed it?
Uh, Sir, Bakhtiyar,
Different versions.
Bakhtiyar Khilji, according to popular books.
Now, the government of India is trying to do something. We are reviving Nalanda.
Yes, sir.
So where has that Nalanda been started? You heard of it?
Yes, sir. Recently, there has been a renovation of Nalanda University, and I mean, there is in a different place. A new Nalanda University has been established, and the first course has been also started recently.
What is that place, was?
Ma'am,
What is that location he was?
uh, sir, I'm not aware about the location.
Rajgi incident.
In Rajgir only.
But
Thank you.
what is the difference between this Nalanda University and any other university then? Is there a difference?
Sir, the Nalanda University, the current Nalanda University carries the legacy of the old Nalanda University, where all sorts of knowledge was given from mythology to from religion to science. So there is a blend of modern knowledge as well as traditional knowledge.
That is there in Delhi University also.
What is unique?
I will read about the
All
unique
universities
aspect.
are under which department of government of India?
Ministry of Education, sir.
Now it's called Human Resource Development, if you know that. Okay. Nalanda University is part of which department? You have any idea which department actually controls it?
No, sir.
It's part of Ministry of External Affairs. It's an international university.
Okay, sir.
So that's a very, very significant development. It's not governed by the normal UGC and other things. It comes under external affairs. And since you are from Bihar,
Yes, sir.
and as you said, Nalanda was a place. So you have a and you're interested in international affairs.
Yes.
So who is the leader of China
Leader of China,
as of now?
Xi Jinping, sir.
So what is it that Xi Jinping has done which was not done by his predecessors? How was Xi Jinping? Who was Xi Jinping's predecessor? You know,
Hu Jinato, if I can guess.
Jintao.
Hu
Okay,
Jintao.
ठीक. So and his predecessor was Jiang Zemin. So what is Xi Jinping? How is Xi Jinping different from his predecessor? Say Hu Jintao.
Sir, as far as I know, Xi Jinping consolidated his position in the party, the CCP, and rose to the ranks to become the president. And he was the vital one to establish the Chinese rejuvenation theory or the Chinese dream. So he saw himself as uh, the Yug Purush that we say in Hindi for the in Chinese context, and established a lot of hard-willed reforms, and wolf warrior diplomacy can be called his signature policy, and is leading China to greater heights.
Have you heard of a chap called Deng Xiaoping?
Deng Xiaoping, yes, sir.
He instituted a system that whoever the Chinese leader serves for 2 terms.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So Jiang Zemin served for 2 terms, stepped down. Hu Jintao served for 2 terms and stepped down. Xi Jinping continues. So that's the biggest difference. Okay.
Yes, sir.
India and China. What are the problems between India and China? If you have to actually look at it, China is the largest neighbor in terms of if you have to look at India's neighbors. It's the most powerful, most. So what is the difference between India and China? What are the differences? What are the problems between India and China?
Sir, India and China suffer from a lot of colonial legacy of boundary demarcation. That starts a lot of problem which start from the geography it is there. Apart from that, China is a revisionist power which is trying to change the rules of the world order, while India is a status quoist power and want to establish a rule based world order. So all the world view of India and China are different. It's colliding from Indo-Pacific to West Asia, and everywhere there's a difference.
That's the only problem. In the field of trade, do we have any problem?
Trade deficit is one of the problems, sir. There are bilaterally there are lots of problem. For example, China unilaterally imposes lots of export restriction, as seen with the rare earth magnets, and trade deficit is one problem. China coerces for the technology transfer in their country. That is also while India where India is uh, telling to change.
What is the problem of Tibet? What is the problem in Tibet?
Tibet is also one of the problems, as there is a Dalai Lama, the current religious leader of the Tibet, who is in exile since 1959 in India, and China want to control the Tibet area, but there it has some problem because it is not getting the legitimacy as the Dalai Lama is residing in the India. And recently it was said that the trust set by the Dalai Lama would set the succession. So that is creating a problem with China.
What is India's position on Tibet?
Sir, India have maintained a very, I would say, pragmatic approach towards Tibet, where we are also giving a refuse to the Dalai Lama, but we are also not explicitly saying that China has no role to play in Tibet.
No, does India recognize Tibet as Chinese territory or not?
Yes, ma'am. Under one China policy, India recognizes Tibet.
One China policies for Tibet or for
Thai.
Hong Kong or
Thai.
Hong Kong?
Sorry, I'm a bit confused about it, but India recognized Tibet. That happened since.
Flaws do you see in India's China policy? What should be the end point? What is our objective? What do we want from China?
Ma'am, we want a cordial relation, a relation of equals. As we say that the 21st century is a Asian century, so we want a century where both countries are cooperating. But the conflict element and sometimes Chinese hegemony, China's transgressing into the South Asian region, it is creating unease in India. So I would say trust deficit more bigger than the trade deficit is the biggest problem between two, and until and unless mutual sensitivities are addressed between two countries.
How to proceed with that?
Ma'am,
Suppose China does another incursion, then what will happen? How are we going to build the trust deficit?
yes, ma'am, that is the problem. Despite India's concern about the transgression that is happening at the border, China is doing so. But ma'am, there was the recent visit where the external minister of our India, S. Jaishankar, went there and said that 3M should be taken care, mutual sensitivities, mutual concerns, and mutual interest. So I would,
Doesn't mean China will listen to that.
yes, ma'am, definitely they will go through their own realistic path. But the for India, the basic starting point of resolving the relation is the solving of border problems.
Is there anything in India's hand or it is everything in China's hand? Will it be a dictated peace?
Ma'am, there has been a power asymmetry between India and China, and that's why China is exploiting that. But I would say that the
Is there
existing,
power symmetry between India and Pakistan? Are we exploiting that?
no, ma'am, we are not able to exploit because of,
Messi is a failure. Huh?
no, ma'am, I would say India's diplomacy is a work in a progress. We are dealing with lots of hostile neighbors, and we really need to be mindful of that. And we need to grab opportunity whenever it comes.
What is her question? If we are dealing with hostile, every neighbor is hostile, then our foreign policy, at least in the neighborhood, has failed.
No, sir, the hostilities are not there because of our failure. It is because of the structural realities of that particular country.
What is the structural reality?
The structural reality is that the small neighbors in our neighborhood see us as a hegemon.
But is there a fact in this?
There has been some historical truth to it, but recently, more so after the Prime Minister Narendra Modi has came and he has given a new vigor to neighborhood first policy, we have
Neighborhood first policy is now in place for last 11 years.
yes.
Things haven't improved. In fact, we have lost Bangladesh.
I just one sec, I'll get back to Tapas as I come to Bangladesh also. So firstly, I want to know, you said to do border dispute is the main key.
Yes.
What exactly is the border dispute? Can you explain?
Yes, sir. Sir, border dispute are going in two areas: the eastern sector and the western sector. In western sector, China see India, India see China occupying the Ladakh, the 90,000 kilometers square of area, and in the eastern sector, China accuses India of occupying Tawang, which is the state of Arunachal Pradesh. So these basic two border disputes are there. In the middle sector, there has been a relatively a peaceful situation where Nathula
Okla is the middle sector or still?
in the middle sector, ma'am. There is has been also a flashpoint.
Is it 90,000 square kilometers? Let's check the approximate figure. I'm not trying to say that you should be exactly, but when we talk of Ladakh, it's not Ladakh per se. Exciton area is the one, and
Exactly.
you've heard of lines like Johnson Line, Johnson McDonald McCarthy Line, Johnson Ardagh Line. Have you heard of these lines?
Yes, sir. Actually, I'm not exactly able to recall where the Johnson line lies in eastern or western sector. Yes, sir.
Have you heard of McMahon Line?
McMahon line. Yes, sir.
What was it?
Sir, if I can recall correctly, then in the western sector, it is there, and this is the line that India recognizes, which divides India and China.
Let me just clarify one thing for you, since I shouldn't be thinking. McMahon Line actually delineates India's border in the east, and it was signed in 1914 in Shimla. Okay. And the other lines which I said are actually pertaining to west, and we adhere to Johnson Ardagh Line. Okay, so lead China.
Going in the same vein, you said India is a status quoist
Yes, sir.
nation. Please explain.
Sir, by the status quoist, I means it doesn't want to change the rules based world order which is existing right now.
What is rules-based world order?
Does anyone follow?
Ma'am, recently there has been a lot of
Any example where major powers have followed the
ma'am.
any example where you can say that yes, countries are following the rules?
Ma'am, even if countries are not following the rules,
Following or not?
then the liberal institutionalism which was established is not able to live up to the expectation, and countries are
You're changing my question. Actually, I am saying, give me an example where countries follow the rule. Is there complete anarchy and chaos in international politics?
no, ma'am.
There are some rules, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Any area can you suggest? What about NPT?
Yes, ma'am.
What about freedom of navigation? Some other areas there are rules. Have you heard about head label?
Head label, yes, ma'am. English school he belongs to.
Why English school is called English school?
Ma'am, because it was given by the British authors. So he gave the concept of anarchical society. We are not in a complete anarchy, but we are not also in a international society. So we are somewhere in the middle, which is anarchical society, where some rules are being followed and some rules are also flouted by countries.
One last question.
Yes, sir.
Have you heard of FMR?
FMR. Sir, I'm not able to recall. I've heard, but I'm not able to recall the full
Free
form.
movement regime.
Free momentism, yes, sir.
What is
Thank you, sir.
what is that, and how is it being changed, and plus what impact would it have on the border population?
Yes, sir. The FMR is particularly used in the context of India and Myanmar, where the borders are open between both countries. And if I can recall the correctly, 200 kilometers of distance between on the both side of the border.
You said huge means what?
Huge,
You said it is huge between India and Myanmar. What you want?
used, ma'am.
Use.
Yes, in the context of India and Myanmar, it is used, and there is the freedom of people so that they can trade between both countries, And since there is a Chin community that lives there, and they have the familial ties of between both countries as well. So that was there, but due to the Manipur crisis that we are seeing, that has been not restored. That has been abrogated, I would say.
ठीक
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.